Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Balls Out Sports Podcast. I'm Remy. This is Jerry. And before we talk sports, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy holidays. You know, Christmas coming around the corner, and just wanted to make sure everyone's having a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. So now we can talk sports. So Jerry, what you wanna get into first, NFL wise? You want to get into games that shocked you, games that you kind of saw coming outcome wise, or do you want to get into the bigger battles that happened?
Let's start with you want to talk about the Seahawks and Eagles?
Yeah, the Monday night game.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I love all birds matchups.
yeah,
I remember when I think it was the Eagles and the Falcons, or maybe the Seahawks and the Falcons, that were facing each other in the NFC Championship the year that the Falcons made it to the Super Bowl. And there was a stat that said that in the playoffs, when it's a bird-on-bird matchup, that like 95% of the time the home team wins. And I didn't know if it was the same way in the regular season, but man, Seattle pulled it off.
yep.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
The
do you want
Eagles-
to talk about Drew Lock, bro?
Oh yeah, Drew Lock. Yeah, he's nice.
Nah, I like his celebration at the end. I believe it's called the backpack celebration. But I always thought that when I first saw him do that celebration, I thought it was him putting on like a big fur coat. That's what I was picturing. I was picturing just like that big purple pimp coat, like
Yeah.
that's what I thought he was doing, adjusting that. But apparently it's a backpack, and he brought it back first time since he did in college at Mizzou. And he deserved it. He balled out this game, beat Philadelphia, one of the heavy hitters in the NFC.
Yep.
And it was his first start in a few years. So props to Drew Lock. DK Metcalf had an amazing game. Just crazy catch after crazy catch in the clutch when they needed it. So overall, just props to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, it's people didn't even think he was supposed to play anyway because Geno Smith was activated this week.
Yeah, and then he got like downgraded to questionable last minute,
But
and
he warmed up and everything, so he could have played. They went in a different direction.
yeah, it worked out, and Geno looked happy. He it didn't look like it bothered him by any means. So there was something. Oh yeah, there you go. Defense wise,
Eagles secondary got destroyed. It's been getting exposed pretty much the whole season.
No, we've talked about it. Everyone's talked about it. Plus, with Darius Slay not being there, it just adds to the problems.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to bring up was the defense for Seattle. The interception at the very, very end of the game. Did you see that one where they had to literally review it?
I don't think I saw that.
It was crazy. So the defender caught the ball on an interception with like 6 seconds left, 20 seconds left, something like that. And the Eagles would have been in field goal range to tie it, I believe. It would have been in field goal range to tie
Oh,
it.
you talking about when they picked out Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, at the very, very end.
Yeah.
At the very, very end. The last one to seal the game. I don't know how he gets that first foot down. I wouldn't even call it a foot. It's like, I don't think he felt that in his toe. Only his cleats touched the ground. It was just a
He was
crazy
floating.
pick. Yeah, he literally was levitating, and then that second foot hit the ground. They called it an interception, and at that point, you needed some NASA level gear to get a close enough look to see if he did or did not touch that.
Yeah.
So, but DK Metcalf, I think overall, like this season, just underrated receiver for the simple fact that he doesn't play in one of those top-notch offenses.
Yeah.
I think that if he was on one of those teams that, if he had the Eagles offense around him, if he had the Niners offense around him, if he had the Cowboys, it'd be a very different story.
That's just how it
And
goes.
and ever since Legion of Boom left Seattle, I don't know. I think it's no longer one of those big market teams.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like that's what happens when you play for a team that's not, you know, it's not really have a big market. So you know,
Yeah,
you talented, you gonna get overlooked. You
there you
bound.
go.
It's like, you know, a lot of teams have that problem in all leagues, not just in the NFL.
Right.
Like it's a big problem. But Jalen Hurts is like, I heard he leads the NFL now, or he's tied with somebody in most turnovers right now.
Yeah, for this season, I saw that has over double the amount of turnovers that he did
He got
last
like
season.
20, I think. That's
Yeah, because didn't he have 2 or 3 last night or
two,
on
I think.
on Monday? Yeah, there you go. So fumbles, interceptions,
Oh yeah, the fumbles
more
been bad
than
too.
last year.
But he did rush for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely, if any quarterback were to get fumbles, like if any quarterback is allowed to have more than 2 or 3 fumbles throughout the season, it would have to be Jalen Hurts
Lamar.
and Josh Allen.
What about Lamar?
Lamar doesn't, but he doesn't. When he runs, as soon as people get close to him, he gets down. Jalen Hurts is running with all 20 guys that are on the field, trying to all in that same spot, all kind of near the ball. So, yeah, it's different kinds of running for sure. Because I think Lamar's faster than Jalen.
Yeah, of course. He's like a running back.
People been saying that. Speaking of the Ravens, yeah, they kind of killed the Jaguars. Ravens defense is no joke. On top of Lamar being, what we just said, great quarterback /
Yeah.
running back.
The Jags don't have Trevor Lawrence, right?
No,
Yeah, so
I mean
they started the season off pretty good, but then it just took a turn for the worse.
I think they're underachieving on the defensive side too, because this was supposed to be a stacked defense with Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ravens. I don't know. I feel like this was one of those in that the categories I talked about earlier. It's one of those in the category where you just kind of saw the outcome coming. I don't think many people were betting on the Jaguars. But it does strengthen the case for Ravens to be as the best team in the AFC and
in the league right now, to be honest.
And in the league
right now, yeah, kind of.
Got you. What about
because all the teams that's like the Eagles done lost 3 in a row. And
right.
Then last week, people will probably said the Cowboys. The Cowboys just lost this past weekend too.
Well, speaking of that, I gotta bring that up because I remember last week we were talking about MVPs and stuff like that, and you were saying that Dak is up there in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what about Josh Allen? You said, nah, I don't think we can have him in the MVP conversation.
Yeah,
and look at what happened in the head-to-head.
But in my defense, did you see Josh Allen post game? What he said?
No.
He was like, I felt like the kid in the group project who did nothing but got an A.
Are you for real?
Yeah. He played. I think he had under 100 yards in throwing. I think the running back had more rush yards than he had pass yards.
Damn.
Yeah.
And Diggs played.
Yep.
Damn. I'd be pissed. Well, so what does that mean? That just their defense was able to mitigate that? Because, I mean, they weren't. I don't know, bro. They scored like 30 points.
Who? Bills?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Cowboys defense kind of got exposed then.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
But the Cowboys defense been good almost the whole season.
Yeah, but notice that the games where they are good, that's the ones that they win. So is that kind of what's going to be happening
in the playoffs?
Do you think that's a trend that's going to keep going forward? Because in the playoffs, that's not going to work. If your defense, like if the only way you can win is if you get a pick six like they were doing at the beginning of the year every other game, it seems like. If you're not getting a pick six, can you win a game?
They're going to have to step it up.
Because, like, I mean, I'm a huge fan of CD, bro. I think that if Dak finds CD and looks for CD 75% of the plays, the offense can cook.
Depends on who they playing.
What you mean?
'Cause
Like,
their
who can guard
offense-
CD?
Their off, but that's really their only offensive threat, for real.
True, Pollard isn't what he once was, sadly. And they got rid of Zeke,
Yep.
which that's another beautiful segue because Zeke on the New England Patriots, who I think are one of the 4 teams that's eliminated, but I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wait, no, I said it was the Jets. It was the Cardinals. I can't remember who's eliminated already from playoff contention, but yeah, the Chiefs beat the New England Patriots 27-17. I mean, everyone on the Chiefs played well, but the only knock I have is that this is the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
You know, with 2-3 wins on the season.
You think they should have won by 50?
Well, yeah, I think they should have scored more points than 27. I'm impressed with Rashee Rice though. He's their rookie wide receiver, and he's doing pretty well, honestly. Led the Chiefs in receiving yards this past game, and he's been making good catches. He's one of the only Chiefs that doesn't consistently drop footballs for Patrick Mahomes. So I'm excited to see him in the playoffs, see him flourish if he can do that.
I think, like you said, well, like I just said, they should have won this game by a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have used this game as like a kind of like statement game, because they haven't been like I've been saying for a minute now.
Yeah,
they
you've been saying
looking
this all
like,
season.
They haven't been looking like the Chiefs that we know. So they should have used this game to be like, okay, we
the Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here.
Kadarius Toney, bro, he dropped another pass that led to a pick.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Nah, that was
He's having a bad couple of weeks.
I mean, he tipped it in the any tip pass like that is just dangerous.
Bad few weeks for him, dude.
We talked about Philly, talked about the Ravens, talked about Chiefs. Cardinals 49ers, another one of the great teams in the NFL, the 49ers. I don't know if you're watching that game, but I thought the Cardinals were going to pull up the upset for a little bit. In the first half, they were kind of scaring the 49ers, bro. But then, they stepped on the gas pedal and everyone just started clicking, and yeah, ended up being not as close as the first half. But yeah, props to the Cardinals for keeping up with the San Francisco 49ers and their loaded offense this week.
Yeah, I seen a lot of people had like changed their opinion on like Brock Purdy this week, saying like he's MVP now. But there's also
But he played the Cardinals, so are we going to talk about Patrick Mahomes be like
there's also other people
he's
saying
back?
like he, like you just said, he got a loaded offense. So if anything, the MVP should go to like McCaffrey. What you think about that?
Well, I mean, I really don't think
He almost got 2K yards, and he got like 1,800 right now. There's 3 more games left in the season. Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously, I'm not saying it's just I don't know. You've seen guys with stacked offenses get the MVP before. You've seen Patrick Mahomes with 2 All-Pros, with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. You've seen Tom Brady with Gronkowski. You've seen loaded offenses. You've seen guys win MVPs with another star on the offense. But it is very rare for an MVP, for a quarterback to be named MVP if their running back is having that kind of a season.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can put Brock Purdy in the MVP conversation solely because of that, just historically. If you look at MVPs, if they're a quarterback, they did not have the best running back in the league by their side. So, yeah, that's almost a case for, McCaffrey, MVP case for McCaffrey, if you put it that way.
I could agree with that. Him or Tyreek Hill. Or Dak.
Is Tyreek Hill going to reach the 2,000 mark as
Probably
well?
not, because he just sat out this weekend.
Right.
And I think he missed like last week too.
Yeah, he hurt his hand, his thumb, I think. And
Man, if you don't tape that up, you don't tape that up and play.
I mean, if any receiver could do it with a taped up thumb, it would be Tyreek Hill, because if you think about it, the kind of plays that he makes, the kind of catches that he makes, he typically doesn't have anyone else's hands and near his hands when he's making the catch that could potentially injure it, just because he's so damn fast. He's nowhere near the people that are guarding him when he catches the ball most of the time. So if anyone could do it, it'd be Tyreek. Be very different from Travis Kelce doing it, because he's catching stuff in the middle with other guys coming at him, and could re-injure it very easily. But Tyreek plays a different kind of football.
Vikings.
Yeah, we can talk Vikings. I was gonna say Giants, the legend of Danny DeVito.
Yo, that dude is funny.
That dude's funny. They finally lost, but so that makes them 3-2, I think. Under, I don't know why I call him Danny. Tommy DeVito. My bad. Tommy DeVito. New York Giants lose to the New Orleans Saints. But I mean,
they say on a Linsanity, that was a Linsanity run.
Yeah, but I can't even like. I guess I can't fault him just because the offense obviously didn't perform, didn't even get like 10 points or nothing like that.
Yeah, he almost didn't even finish the game because he got cracked in the second quarter.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. But this was all a testament of Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara. Derek Carr threw for 3 touchdowns, and Alvin Kamara led the team in both rushing and receiving yards for the game. So if you got your main offensive threat, which without Michael Thomas on the field, Alvin Kamara is that main offensive threat for the Saints. Man, it's hard to stop Kamara no matter who you got on your defense.
Yeah,
like he's one of 2 guys to have scored 6 touchdowns in a game.
Yeah, he's different.
So,
and then also, the Giants' run game was abysmal. Saquon Barkley is, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's kind of streaky.
He's washed.
He's washed?
Those
are 2 very different statements.
He might be washed, bro.
He might be washed. Well, so when did he get drafted? 2019?
Nah, he's not washed. He just, maybe it's the injuries.
Well, injuries, and how old is he? Because
confidence.
Your average human's physical prime is 26, 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at, again, history teaches us that running backs past 28, 29 years old, past that physical prime, typically don't perform as well, and that's when they get dropped and leave teams.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ezekiel Elliott. Look at the running backs for the Patriots through all those championships. It's not the same running back year after year, but you got the same quarterback, the same wide receivers. The running back always changing.
They need they're gonna find a replacement for him soon. If he don't pick it up.
And so who'd you grab then?
Maybe somebody from the draft. Shoot, the Giants have potential to get a good pick, right? Because they're terrible.
Right.
So use that.
Yeah, and I guess it is the New York Football Giants, so it is attractive to go there. So they can get someone from free agency. I just don't see any young running backs that are available. Typically the young talents, once they've been found, they get kept by the team and worked until, they literally can't anymore. Kind of sad.
I heard, I don't know how true it was. I heard that one of them might get their own stadium, the Jets or the Giants.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Would it be closer to New York City?
I think it's supposed to actually be in New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that would be something.
Yeah. I mean, the Meadowlands is literally like 10 minutes from New York,
So now who gets that who gets the new fancy stadium? Because we all know that the stadium they're at right now isn't
I would say probably the Giants would get it because they was a team first. I'm pretty sure, and then I think, yeah, the Giants used to play. I think in Yankee Stadium, and I think the Jets used to share a stadium with the Mets too.
Oh,
And
so
then
it's
at
kind
some
of
point,
like Minnesota, where you just share it with the baseball team.
yeah, and then at some point they all three were sharing a stadium together, like
Yeah,
the
Oakland
Mets.
was doing that too, I think.
Yeah, cause the Yankees was getting enhancements or whatever done to their stadium, and the Giants were sharing a stadium with them. So they was the Jets, Giants, and the Mets was all sharing a stadium at one point. Yeah,
That's crazy. But that must have been a good atmosphere, though. Can't lie, because now it's in the city.
it was nice.
You know, everyone who's a football fan, they can stay in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. Vikings. You want to talk about Vikings? I was trying to dodge them. I'm always ducking smoke. Always ducking smoke with the Vikings. Vikings lose, but I'm not even going to put it on them because their defense came away with takeaways. Their quarterback Mullins is doing what a backup should do, and he's playing pretty well. Only thing I'd have to say is some of the throws he's making is putting his receivers in danger, similarly to the one Justin Jefferson injury from the Josh Dobbs throw a few weeks back.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some of these throws and the receivers are making the catch, but if that defensive player had seen the situation of the field, I think, and they made the decision to not go for the ball and go for the receiver, that they could have gotten injured, both Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, who both had incredible games.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't play bad, like you said, but he had some costly turnovers, and y'all really outplayed him.
And one that a pick six that
got overturned.
Very luckily overturned. Yes,
because of an offsides call. But the Vikings really outplayed them. Y'all have more total yards than them. It's just he threw, like I said, 2 costly picks
and Browning.
It made him
JB
Browning, and then Jake Browning. He continued his, I guess we'll say, Linsanity run for now.
Yeah, I mean, as I said last week, bro, I think that similarly to how Lawrence Taylor made it so that tackle position is very valuable because you got to protect the quarterback. I think that all these quarterbacks getting injured this year and all these backups having to play is going to affect the way that the backup quarterback position is viewed and gets paid in the future. And it's thanks to these guys performing well, because if they didn't do it, then it'd be like, oh yeah, see, this is why we don't pay our backups. But if you get people like Browning who do their thing, Dobbs, who did his thing briefly with Minnesota for a couple games, the pastronaut, everyone was loving him. Drew Lock, where dude was emotional after the game during his post game interview. So the more backups play games and come out victorious, man, the better it's going to be in future years for their salary and for their pocketbooks.
Yeah.
So,
and the Vikings, and he did it against a good defense. The Vikings have they're ranked first in defense.
Really?
Yeah, and also
in pass defense or or just overall?
Yeah, overall defense.
Okay.
And then I feel like this was low key personal for him too, because he was on the Vikings 2 years ago. He got cut.
What you mean? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He yelled into the camera after the game. He was like, "You shouldn't have cut me."
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's motivation right there.
Yeah. And
that'll motivate you for sure.
He apologized after the game though, like in the press conference. He was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that." But
hey, heat of the moment. He said what was on his mind, and he said it with his chest.
Yeah.
So you can't fault him. So so the Minnesota Vikings fall 24-27 to the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. It was a great comeback by the Bengals. Ended up having to score a touchdown late, very late. With, 40 seconds left in the game, something like that. touchdown
T.
catches,
Higgins.
that is. Yeah, not just pure, like, the catch itself wasn't phenomenal. It's just the play itself was
In game
phenomenal.
speed, it was like, nah, that's not no touchdown. But when you look at it, it's in slow motion.
It's the awareness of knowing, oh, I'm landing here, so therefore the sideline's here, so therefore the pylon's here. Let me see if I can get somewhere near it with this arm. And he found it.
That was nasty, bro.
Yeah, none you can say about that. None you can do about that. Dude just had the will to find the end zone. Then once it comes to overtime, if you're not the Eagles, don't try and do 2 tush pushes in a row. Because I saw the I saw the way our quarterback did not have the same technique as Hurts. He wasn't driving with his feet. He was trying to roll on top of the bodies that were piling over each other, and that's just not going to work. Should have been going for more yards to try and get that field goal or make it a close field goal, not trying to get a few inches 2 times in a row. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, the Bengals were able to march down the field the other side and get a field goal and get the W. Props to the Bengals for staying afloat without Joe Burrow.
Yeah, they might actually make the playoffs and possibly win a game.
Right? And so I think that would be the epitome of what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
A backup wins a playoff game.
He will. You think they would get rid of him? Like maybe.
I don't think any of the backups. I think some backups, depending on who your starting quarterback is, right? If your starting quarterback isn't a Joe Burrow, a big name like that, some of these backups we've seen this season might become starters.
So say he does perform, maybe he wins them 1 or maybe 2, maybe even 2 playoff games, right? Joe Burrow comes back next season. Do you think he should ask out like I deserve to be starting somewhere? You think he would be like, yo,
so
train me?
if I'm him, it depends on what you want to do, because it is really hard, bro, because you can be like, there's 2 ways you can handle this. Either you know what, this is what I want to do. I want to lead a team, so thank you for being the team that allowed me to put myself out there and for people to see me, but I'm gonna go get my bag and go try and compete with another team. Second option is, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and my agents talked to some teams, and this is how much I could get in free agency here. This is how much I could get here. Can y'all get anywhere close to that? And I'm y'all's backup. Because the best scenario for any team with a great quarterback is, oh no, my quarterback gets hurt in the second quarter of a playoff game, knowing that your backup can get you a playoff game.
Tough.
Those are the 2 options, low key. So what would you do? You're a quarterback who just is putting on the show that he's putting on. You're dipping?
I'm leaving. I'm going in the off season. I'm putting in the crazy work.
The crazy work, sending those tapes to all those other teams.
Oh yeah, I'm putting in crazy work. I'm going to the gym every day. They gonna know.
Well, and those 2 options are for 2 different kinds of people. Those are for the how do I put it? There's the Tom Brady option, and there's the Keyshawn Johnson option, right? The Tom Brady, all he wanted to do is win. Keyshawn Johnson always said, hey, I'm here to get myself and get my family out of the situation that we were in before I made it to the league. If I win MVPs on the way, if I win championships on the way, that's cool. But once I get my bag, I'm out of here. That's why he didn't play that many seasons. So depending on what type of player you are, type of person you are, you might pick option A or option B. But yeah, for me, it'd be a really tough choice. For you, not so much.
You gotta want to win. If you want to win, I mean, I guess there's some people though who would want to win and be like, you know what? I know that this dude a little bit better than me, so I'll take I'll take the back seat this time because I know we're going to win. I'll get a chip out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It is some people that don't like, as Charles Barkley would say, they're not the bus driver, but they don't mind.
Right.
They don't mind it.
Right. But so yeah, here's the thing though. If you decide to change teams and it was a let's say it was a Linsanity run and you change teams and you kind of fade out. Well, now you're not staying with that team for multiple years. Whereas if you're a backup and Joe Burrow doesn't get hurt for the next 3 years and they don't even know that you're not good anymore, you already have your bag. You're set.
You're good.
You're set.
Nobody's expecting you to be good anyway because you're a backup.
Right. Exactly. Like you're set.
Yeah.
A Linsanity run there are no Linsanity runs for bona fide starters. Linsanity runs is always someone who wasn't a bona fide starter at first.
True.
So, yeah, you always love to see those turn into something different, something greater. But I don't know if there's too many of those. Too many of those guys who, after like 4 or 5 years of not making it to the league, finally make it to the league and then, become great. It's tough. It's tough. Any other teams you want to talk about? Any other games?
I think we talked about all the big ones, all the ones, the important ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, before we go to the NBA, Miami beat the Jets 30-0. Let's talk NBA.
Yeah, that was bad.
I just want to gloss over that because nothing much to say. Jets eliminated from playoff contention. So this is literally all this was doing was strengthening Miami's case.
And they did it without Tyreek and Tua. So.
No, Tua played.
He didn't play.
No, he played. 100%.
He did.
100% he played.
Dang. No Tyreek.
With no Tyreek. No Tyreek.
30-0
but,
on our good defense.
On our good Yeah. Well, it is what it is. There's always next year with Aaron Rodgers.
Hopefully.
So, yeah. Basketball-wise, last time we talked about some All-Stars after Christmas. We're going to have a full All-Star game preview episode where we really break down who we think should be All-Stars, who we think should, be in the reserves, all that, and it'll be an official list.
They just opened up voting a few days ago too.
That's exactly why. Yep, we're gonna pretend like we have received all of those votes, and we're gonna, simulate it. And that's gonna be a fun one. But before that, I wanted to ask you, All-Star wise, what do you think affects whether or not you're an All-Star when it comes to your age, right? Because we're not counting LeBron because he's an anomaly at his age, scoring and producing what he's producing. But typically, if you're older and you're averaging just a little bit less than you were before, they're very quick to get a young guy in there.
It depends on who you are. I feel like. I don't think it's not really ever too many young guys in the All-Star game anymore. And even if they are, they don't really play.
I think this is the youngest we've had the All-Star game recently.
A lot of times it'd be replacements.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd be like off of injuries. Like somebody got hurt and then they'd be like, okay, let's throw this rookie in there. Everybody wanted to see
Let's
him
throw
anyway.
this young guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking of the years where you had just where the All-Star game was all old heads. It was you had Kyle Korver, Al Horford, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade. There was no third-year player in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And then Luka showed up. The Wiggins was there was a few names out there where it's there's younger players making the All-Star game, but yeah, globally it was all vets, all season vets. So yeah, I don't know. I don't mind there being younger guys, especially because the younger guys nowadays just score way more.
I do a little bit just because of the simple fact that there's still the rookie sophomore game, like the Rising Stars Challenge.
Yeah.
He still got that, so it's not that like, you feel me? You're gonna see them there anyway.
Right. But I mean, I don't think I'm talking young guys like just past the second year, like Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, because Zion Williamson.
A lot of them are hurt, and a lot of them are not playing up to like how they're supposed to. Besides Ant and Halliburton has kind of died down a little bit since the in-season tournament. Like his hype kind of went down a little bit, and he got. I think he's hurt now. I think he hurt his hand or something like that.
Yeah, well, and also that tends to happen with strictly offensive teams.
Their defense is horrible,
and that's a huge issue. That's the difference between them and say like a Sacramento or like a Minnesota.
Yeah,
other young teams, but that have a little bit more of that balance between the offense and the defense. So yeah, we'll see how that all turns out, but. I mean, at the end of the day, All-Star game, nobody really cares about defense.
Oh, yeah, nobody cares. I heard it going back to East-West this year.
And I'm excited. I'm excited, bro, because those were the dopest jerseys. Like, you had it's at East right there, and you got Irving on the back, or you got James or Wade or whatever.
We're going to see what they do this year.
Yeah, because we've had some of the more boof jerseys, bro. Like, literally, I think it was... I can't remember where it was. It must have been last year's, bro, where they literally look like the jerseys that my high school had for practice. The tops did. And, yeah, so it just had me disappointed, bro. Like, the jerseys haven't been all that.
One of my favorite jerseys that, like, people hated was the sleeve jerseys, the short sleeve jerseys.
Yeah. The 2014 All-Star game with Not
even just those. Some of the regular season games they had them too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about just All-Star game.
I love them just in general. The short sleeve jerseys. People hated them.
I think homie has pull, so.
LeBron.
Yeah, I think that's why, bro. Because there was that one time where he ripped the sleeve off.
Yeah, he's so dramatic.
And so oh damn, King James is unable to play with sleeves. We can't have sleeves on any of our jerseys because it's clearly a disadvantage to the team that's wearing sleeves. It's like, bro, you literally won the NBA Finals Game 7 with sleeves. So like,
dude, dramatic,
bro. Hey, if I'm LeBron, I'm asking for sleeves on all the jerseys. Like, let's turn these into soccer jerseys, bro. But yeah, All-Star jerseys. I'm excited to see what those look like this year. Have those been released?
They probably won't release them till like probably a week or so before the All-Star game.
And where is the All-Star game this year?
Indiana. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So if Halliburton don't make it, he gotta make it.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the fact that it's in Indiana.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait, where was it last year?
I have no idea, bro. Sometimes
last year was the 75 years anniversary, right? Or was that 2 years ago? I think it was last year. Because the year where it was the 75th year anniversary of the NBA, that was in Cleveland.
So you saying it was 2021? Oh yeah, because the next All-Star game is 23. Yeah, so it'll be 21.
Yeah, whatever one that was, it was.
I think 21 was the 75 year.
Okay, and then, yeah, I don't know. There was one in Charlotte a few years ago. Bro, when are we gonna get like Chicago All-Star game? We had New York recently, like a few years back.
They need to come here.
They need to do like a Miami All-Star game. Minnesota? Bro, no offense, but what the fuck are 30 All-Stars finna do in Minneapolis, Minnesota in February?
Ask Emmett. Ask Emmett.
Bro.
Send the video.
I'm sorry, but I'm just picturing Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, who just got off the plane from Phoenix, and they're like, yo, we gotta spend 5 days here.
It's mad cold. Shit,
Nah, I'd be happy if it was here, but a lot of fans wouldn't be, and a lot of players wouldn't be. Um, yeah, it's just too damn cold in February out here. But like, I mean, I don't know, LA game, All Star game.
that's so basic though. I feel like everything is in California.
So
Like,
do we just do it in Vegas,
go to
like the
Utah or
in
something.
season tournament
That would be cool at Vegas in that big dome. That would be
in the
nice.
Sphere?
Yeah,
All Star game in the Sphere every single year from now on. That'd be dope.
yeah, that would be cool.
It would, and plus like that, it would make it a destination for everyone.
90% of the NBA be gambling anyway. Go ahead. They don't care.
Can't gamble on your own team though.
Even the refs be gambling. You might as well. Go ahead. Just go ahead and have it in Vegas. Michael Jordan will pull up every year.
It was one ref, bro. No.
Michael Jordan, if y'all have it in Vegas, Michael Jordan will come to every All-Star weekend.
Did you ever watch that documentary on the Scott Foster or no, not Scott Foster. My bad. The Tim Donaghy, not the same person at all. Tim Donaghy, the one who the ref you were just talking about, who was doing the gambling and like,
Nah.
bro, you gotta watch it. He had mob ties. He was feeding those bets. Like he would tell mobsters, like, yeah, I think this gonna happen at this game. Go ahead, like, boom.
Yo, he's different.
Oh, he was connected, but yeah, I guess it's not like he was connected and then he became a ref. It's because he was a ref that people were reaching out to him for this connection. So, yeah, but that's still one of the craziest stories I've ever heard from the NBA. Yeah, and I really hope that shit's been terminated, bro. That like there's no one else doing that, and that they like got the FBI surveilling them all the time, making sure they're not doing that shit. Because, yeah, I don't know. There's already too many people out there that think that this shit's rigged. So, yeah, it'd be a shame. What was I gonna say? Championships aspiration. That's what I want to talk about this video in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you know how in everyone's mind there's kind of a few teams like that you think of, and it's like, yeah, that's like bona fide playoff team. Like every single year you're gonna see them in the playoffs. You know, teams like, for example, if I were to take the West, you got Denver, you got the Los Angeles Lakers. I gotta be very careful with what I say here. You got the Golden State Warriors. You've got, thanks to the addition of Kevin Durant on one side and Kyrie Irving on the other side, the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns. Even though last year the Mavericks didn't make it, but you know, fresh with Kyrie. Yeah, and in the East, I would say it's Boston, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and Miami. Always going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What are some teams that you think can beat those teams? You know, teams that we might see in the playoffs this year that are kind of stepping up. Like, are there any teams in the East? We'll start with the East that you
Knicks.
think can go up against those 3-4 teams
The Knicks.
any given night? Knicks.
Not really only the Knicks.
Only the Knicks in the
Yeah.
East. You don't think the Magic could steal 4 games from any of those teams?
Maybe 1 or 2, but they don't really have no playoff experience. None of them. They're a very, very young team.
Right.
And I don't see them doing like.
You don't think Indiana could beat like Miami, for example, in the playoffs?
Jimmy Butler's Miami? No.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, the only way they're beating them really is if they're swarming them with points. Like they would literally have to.
Their defense is too good, and Bam is too good. Like they're just versatile offensively and defensively. Like Miami they're good, bro. They're set. They're just like one superstar away from getting a chip, because Jimmy is just Jimmy, or they're either one superstar away or a bench away, and Bam like elevating his game to that next level, which he already has.
Yeah, and they had the bench in previous years.
Yeah, and they gave it away, but not give it away because they were free agents and they signed other places, but get a little bit of bench. And Bam his offense has improved every year. His defense is never questionable. He's always in defensive player of the year talks. He's always very passionate about that. He feels he should have won it last year, and I believe the year before that he believes he should have won it. And he has a really good argument for it. Jimmy Butler is a great defender, and people know what he can do when he really turn it on. I think their biggest setback though is just Kyle Lowry.
Really?
Yeah, Kyle Lowry is just.
So what? You just trade him, let him go in free agency?
I think they need another shooter for him. Because they don't really need a point guard, because he doesn't really play point guard anymore like that. So I
and in the playoffs, I want Jimmy bringing the ball up anyway.
Yeah, I think
Jimmy or like Tyler Hero or someone.
Exactly, and as long as Hero stay healthy, Hero just came back from missing almost a month and a half, I think, something like that.
We're about to talk about someone who just came back too.
Hero back, so. The Heat started off pretty bad in the season, but like I said before, I don't really worry about them in the regular season. It's because once they get to the playoffs,
and we know they're making it to the playoffs, they find a way.
Just that, and because the East is just weak, but when they backs against the wall, they make it happen. So that's why it's not really too much to worry about.
I wouldn't say the East is weak. I would say the East is top heavy.
Yeah. They're not weak. They just...
Because ain't no way you calling like Milwaukee said, weak.
The top four is the top four, which is Milwaukee's a part of, and then the rest are almost even.
Right. Okay, yeah, I totally see that.
You could probably have like maybe two of those teams that are like above them, and I could say one of them is the Knicks for sure, because the Knicks are just inconsistent. That's all.
Right.
But they have the star power. Brunson and Julius Randle are both stars.
I want Randle to take a page out of Cat's book and just go to the basket more. Because I remember Kobe Bryant used to. I remember I saw this on TikTok recently. It was Julius Randle battling in like his rookie or sophomore season, and post game interview, Kobe's getting interviewed, and he said, "How did you guys perform tonight?" He's like, well, Julius Randle didn't back down. I mean, he's tough. He's not going back down from anyone. And now it looks like he's not, like, he doesn't have that dog mentality in him anymore. But I know it's in there. So I think he needs to take a page out of Cat's book, take slightly less jumpers, and just get more to the rack because, I mean, dude's strong. He's built like Bam Adebayo, but he doesn't play like him.
Nah, he plays big. He's like, what, he's like 6'9"? 6'9", like two, bro. He's big, bro. But he has the ability to shoot. At times, it's just very, very streaky. But a lot of times he has mismatches.
But I think if he puts in his brain, I'm getting to this bucket right now. I don't think there's too many guys that I think could stop. I think Joel Embiid could stop him on a regular basis if he tried to. I think Giannis could stop him on a regular basis if he tried to. And I think that's literally it.
Nah, you had it right. Did you just see what he just did to AD the other night? He put like 30 on ADs, and that's a guy who year after year is in Defensive Player of the Year conversation.
Absolutely.
Considered one of the best two-way players in the NBA. So he's not just doing that against no Zubac or, Mason Plumlee or nothing, bro. He's doing that against... You feel me? He's hooping.
People catching strays in this episode.
He's really hooping. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go. That's just what I want to see on a consistent basis.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's echoing the sentiment that I had for Anthony Davis and that I had for Cat. And shit, look at Cat this year.
Yeah, he's been impressive.
He looks at the defender and he's like, "Oh, this defender cannot guard me in the paint," and so he goes to the paint. And yeah, not many people have the luxury to do that. Offensive big men that can really do it in the paint. There aren't too many of them. So
yeah, Minnesota got the best defense in the league right now.
Yeah, so but before we get to the last topic of the day, the juiciest topic of the day, that's why I want to say when we go to the West and we talk about those 3-4 teams, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Denver. What's a team that you think you could beat them? Any of those teams in a 7-game series?
The Thunder,
The Thunder.
Clippers. You
I
forgot about the
that
Clippers.
those were two of the teams I was gonna say. I was gonna say actually no, I didn't even think of the Thunder. I was gonna say Clippers and Timberwolves.
Yeah, the Timberwolves. First of all, the Timberwolves. I have no doubt in my mind that they can beat anybody in the West.
Really? You
Yeah.
think they could? I don't think.
Bro, they literally was the champs. They stole a game from them in the first round. They played in the first round last year. They stole a game from them. They really could have won 2 games, and I think they could have won the series, but Cat was just coming back from injury, like late in the season. It was a lot of chemistry issues, but I don't think this just a Cinderella run. Like, this not a Linsanity run for them right now.
No,
I don't think it's one of those things.
I don't think so, but I mean, I hope not. But out of those teams that I mentioned, I'd be more scared to face the Phoenix Suns than the Denver Nuggets, just because of what you said. Our teams match up well on just overall. They make for entertaining games.
It
Like
depends on health.
Timberwolves, Nuggets is always going to be fun. While these rosters still look similar, but I'd be very scared facing KD and Devin Booker, just because Rudy Gobert can affect a lot of people's shots, but if you got that mentality, like, you're not affecting their shot unless you're actually blocking it.
As much as I love Phoenix, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I just don't see them being healthy around the playoff times. I don't see it. Beal just came back from injury, missing how many weeks? And then got injured in the same game, bro. And now he's out for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, so you know how many minutes are in a regular basketball game, right?
48.
48 minutes. Do you want to go ahead and guess how many minutes that the new Phoenix Suns Big Three has played together?
Probably like 10. Under 10?
26.
26, bro.
26. They played just a smidge over a half of basketball together.
I think... and they play in the preseason together. That's it.
No, I think they're counting that. I think they're counting the amount of time they spent on the court, all 3 of them together.
Bro, this is literally Brooklyn all over again.
Yeah, it's sad. So, yeah. I want to talk about Ja Morant.
Yeah, I was about to say Grizzlies.
Well, we're only now getting Ja Morant action back, but they're pretty low in the standings. It's gonna take like a quarter of the season's gone.
They won't go much further. Even if they make it to the playoffs, they won't really do nothing because they already lost Steven Adams for the season and Brandon Clark, and that's both of their big men. Because Jaren Jackson Jr. is not really he's another one of those big men who.
And I'm not gonna lie, if I had to create the perfect center to set a pick for Ja Morant, for my point guard Ja Morant, I would draw something that looks a hell of a lot like Steven Adams, bro.
I think
like literally, I think in my mind what I'm thinking is I want to prime DeAndre Jordan or a prime Big Baby Davis setting that screen.
Yeah.
That's who I'd want setting a screen for Ja Morant every single play. Taking out the big man or taking out the guard.
I don't know. They're not going to do much, but I think he's going to have a great season. It won't matter because obviously he can't win no awards or nothing.
Well, it'll still matter in the sense that it'll be a big FU to anyone who's written him off, anyone who doesn't believe in Ja Morant, whether it be you don't like his personal stuff that's happened, whether you don't like him as a player. If he comes out and averages 34 points a game, even if it's for less than 65 games a year, damn, like, bro, like you're gonna get a bunch of money regardless because you're gonna be playing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna be really hard for him to make the playoffs this season. But yeah, props to him for winning his first game back, 34 points against the Pelicans. The battle of the first 2 overall picks in their draft, Zion Williamson and Ja Morant, face each other again, and Ja got the best of him. He got the last laugh.
Yeah, Zion only had like 13 points or something like that. He's
He's also sharing the court with BI. I think a lot of people who shit on him for his scoring don't take into account that BI is a bona fide all-star.
BI needs to be all-star this season. He's having
he usually is.
He's having a career year.
Yeah, ever since he left the Lakers, he's been an all-star, I believe.
Yeah, but it's been up and down with him because of injuries. But this year, he came into the season healthy. He started everything up. And I think CJ got hurt at some point, so he was like the guy. So he's been living up to his
Also completely random, and I don't want to speculate, but I ain't never seen no one just look so high all the time as Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, BI.
It's crazy. But I know he's not faded for the full 48 minutes of the basketball game. So he genuinely looks like that too.
He's so cool.
If there's ever been a picture taken of him where he's high, I'm sure that might have happened. But there's also a lot of times where I see him, I'm like, well, this is in the middle of a basketball game. There's no way he's high to this point. But you look at his eyes and you're like, bro, what's going on? Are you good? But he just got droopy eyes. I don't know what to say.
He's like DK Metcalf, like how you were saying, gem in a low market.
Yeah.
He's like that.
Absolutely.
Because he's hooping, and he's been, like you said, been hooping since he left LA.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like he really gets the recognition like that.
Oh no, I can almost, if we're gonna take away buzzer beaters, because buzzer beaters are always gonna make it on Bleacher Report and Sports Center and those things, right? So let's take away buzzer beaters. I can guarantee you that he has more plays shown on ESPN as a Laker than he does as a Pelican. Because if you dunk over someone in purple and gold, you're worth more money to a highlight company than you are if you dunk on someone in New Orleans.
True.
So
unless you're Zion.
Right? Obviously you're going to make that ESPN top 10 plays of the day if you're making buzzer beaters, which since he's become the man in New Orleans, he's the one who's had to take those shots late in the game. So
you need to take Zion out the kitchen.
What you mean take? Oh, I thought this was a sexist joke. It's just a fat joke.
Nah, but on some real, that man need to get healthy, bro.
Yeah, either need to reduce your weight or change the way you play basketball. Because there are people who use their weight successfully. Shaq, when he joined the Lakers, he was asked to join weight, right? Charles Barkley was able to back people down for 10 full Mississippis, backing them down and getting little hook shots at the basket because he was much heavier and stronger than those guys. It's just that the way Zion plays cannot be played if you're overweight, because landing on those knees that much with that much weight is going to hurt. And if you're doing a bunch of running and jumping, he can't do that. He would have to turn into a prototypical literal center, an undersized center maybe, but he would have to literally turn into a Charles Barkley, a Los Angeles Lakers Shaquille O'Neal, where you're using your weight to your advantage. I don't see anything wrong with his weight if he's going to play like that, but obviously he's so much better if he plays the way he has been. He's just so fucking good, bro.
Yeah, he's dominant.
Every
time I see him, I just want to eat donuts. I don't know.
I want to break into his house and steal his donuts so he don't got no more.
He got potential to be great, man.
Mm-hmm.
He just seemed like he don't care.
You just gotta make choices. Either drastically change your diet, drastically change the way you play the game of basketball, but whatever you do, make choices that are going to elongate your career. Don't make choices that are going to shorten them. That's never what you want to see. But yeah, Ja Morant got the best of him on that one.
Bruh, the Pistons are on a 24-game losing streak. What is going
That's
on?
the most random thing I've ever heard.
Bro, I had to make sure like
that
we
was
spoke on
an
that.
epiphany.
I had to make sure we spoke on that, bro.
Okay, so what do you want to? I mean, we don't got to really dive into it, but it's a young team. It had promise.
Their first L is the coaching. Monty Williams is terrible at coaching.
Wait, hold up. You said 20. Well, first off, any coach that has brought a team to the NBA Finals is not terrible at coaching. I think
He was
more
definitely
things.
a bad coach when he got to the finals.
Really?
That's why Ayton is not in Phoenix right now, and that's why he also is not in Phoenix right now because he was a bad coach.
That's true.
Devin Booker is.
But if you think about it, even the coaches that win the championships don't stay. Only coaches to have won championships and stayed recently is Steve Kerr.
Yeah, bruh.
Because Frank Vogel won a championship with LeBron James and the Lakers. Fired. The Bucks coach, he gone.
Out of there.
The Raptors coach, Nurse, gone. All the recent coaches, bro. The last coach to have won and stayed is Steve Kerr.
Bro, that's insane, bro. But Monty Williams and then also Cade Cunningham has no spacing. Like he's really good, but he has nobody to drive and kick to. Like there's zero shooters on his team. Literally zero. I think Killian Hayes is his only shooter.
So what's the plan?
They need some shooters. They need to get rid of it. I feel like.
So are you in rebuild through the draft? Are you when you use all your draft picks to try and get people? Because it's not a huge market. This isn't the 80s anymore. Detroit isn't the best town in America.
Yeah, they don't really have any trade assets. So they're going to have to use some draft picks or get better player development. Send some guys down to the G League and have them work on their jumpers and their confidence because having one shooter on your team is not it, bro.
So do we just relegate them to the G League maybe?
Yeah, they're talking about expanding the league anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it works in Europe. If you're just not good in your league, you just go down. But the thing is in Europe is that you don't have, I mean, apart from England, then you do, but you don't have multiple teams in the same city. You know, they're not owned by the same people. It's teams from different cities, and if the team in your city is good enough, it can make it to the best league in that country. And if it's not, then you're just going to minors games. So, well, those can be fun, bro. I go to the St. Paul Saints games all the time. Those are fun.
Might have to catch one.
Yeah, Bill Murray, huge St. Paul Saints fan. Beloved comedian Bill Murray. Huge St. Paul Saints fan. He actually wears a St. Paul Saints hat.
Oh, the Space Jam dude.
In Space Jam.
Yeah.
He wears the hat in Space Jam. So, yeah, kind of cool little side note right there. But, yeah, we're running out of time, so we are going to end this episode on that one. But no shame with ending by talking about Space Jam.
Oh, yeah. On a 24-game losing streak.
On a 24-game losing streak. Nah, but, bro, so wait, hold up. So the Timberwolves are like 20-5. So if you're on a 24-game losing streak, how many games have they won?
Bro, I think they started the season off like 2-1, and then after that, it was over with.
Sheesh. Well, poor Pistons. Hopefully they can find a way to turn it around. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Christmas.
Peace.